afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Zoo to You here at the Central Florida Zoo. My name is Buck, and with me today is Tank. Tank is our African Spurred tortoise, also known as a Tortoises tortoise, and they come from, as the name implies, the continent of Africa, specifically the sub-Saharan portion of Africa, and including the Sahara Desert. But they are actually the third largest species of tortoise in the world, and the largest species of tortoise on the mainland. So while they are not as large as the Galapagos and the Aldabra tortoises respectively, because they live on the continent of Africa as opposed to an island like the other two tortoises where they have no competition, they aren't quite as big, but they are still larger than any other tortoise on the mainland. And they can reach weights of over 200 pounds when full grown. And they hatch from their eggs. They are only about the size of ping pong balls, maybe a little bit larger, but they will actually double in size every year for the first 3 years of their life. Now, they are actually very commonly bought as pets because of their docile temperament. As you can see, Tank does love to be petted and scratched. Very good boy. But just because they have a decent temperament doesn't mean that they aren't hard to deal with. Like I said, they do get very, very large. There's a reason he's called Tank. In addition to being very large, they are also very, very strong. In fact, if your house isn't built sturdy enough for these animals, they can break through the walls like the Kool-Aid Man, I've heard. Well, I'm feeding him a few things right now. He's got a little bit of hibiscus, and he's also getting some plates from a prickly pear. Now, they do eat a lot of grasses in the wild. They are predominantly herbivores, and they'll eat mainly grasses, and they have a diet that's very high in fiber, and that's usually very good for them. They don't do well with protein and high sugar foods like fruits. They'll predominantly eat grasses. But while I'm getting his treat for him for this afternoon, I'll be answering any questions, so if you folks have any, fire away.
Al really likes Tank.
I like Tank too.
What's the difference between a turtle and a tortoise?
Excellent question. What is the difference between a turtle and a tortoise? We get this question quite a lot, actually. And in truth, there really isn't a difference, at least not in a biological sense. All tortoises are turtles, but not all turtles are tortoises. Think of it that way. So a tortoise is just a very specialized group of turtles that live on the land. So if it's on land, odds are it's a tortoise. So tortoises have these elephantine, very flat-footed feet here that help them plod around on the ground.
Do they swim?
They don't so much swim as float, really. So if you drop one in a pool of water, odds are it'll drop to the bottom initially. But if they take in a big gulp of air, they will float along, at least for a little bit. That's how a lot of scientists think that some of the larger island tortoises came to be on these isolated areas. They floated along there. In fact, I think a Aldabra tortoise was found not terribly long ago with barnacles attached to it, meaning that it was out at sea for quite some time.
How old is Tank?
24. One more thing for you right here, bud.
Does he have a favorite place to be scratched?
He likes to be scratched towards the base. It's kind of like a dog. They like to be scratched towards the back here. Sometimes he'll wiggle his butt and push out a little bit, and he gets scratched there.
Dana was asking. How much does he weigh?
I think he weighs around 80 pounds, give or take. So it's mostly this hard shell on top of him. It's called his carapace, and it's made of solid bone. It's actually an extension of their rib cage and their spinal column. So this is all fused to their backbones. And that's kind of the reason why they're so heavy.
Rachel says that he is one of the most active tortoise she has ever seen at the zoo.
Yes, he is a very active animal. He is very energetic and likes to plod along a lot. There are very few days where he's just kind of chilling out in his hut. Usually those are on colder days. They don't tend to like temperatures below 60 degrees, so this morning he was kind of hiding in there.
Grayson wants to know what their favorite food is.
For the most part, grasses. Okay? I can't really say he has a favorite food. These animals are voracious eaters, as you saw when he was going down on those prickly pear. So they'll eat just about anything, even if it's not necessarily good for them. They'll eat just about anything, but they prefer vegetables and things that have a high fiber quality to their diet.
Thank you to Lissy, who just donated.
Thank you very much. We hope to see you guys again real soon.
Caleb, who is 9, wants to know if they get regular vet care each year or just when they get sick.
They do get regular checkups from the vets because we do have vets on site here. Thankfully, we do have a vet on site to the worst happen. But we have a very healthy tortoise.
Rose would like to ask why they are so strong.
Because of their diet, for the most part, they have a lot of calcium, so that builds strong bones, and because they're just very energetic animals. That's how they're designed.
No one wonders how big they can get.
They can max out at about 200 pounds. They can get fairly large.
And Luke wants to know if people have them as pets.
Yes, people do have them as pets, but I can't necessarily say I recommend it unless you have a very sturdy house. I think that about does it for Tank today. It looks like he's run out of food to eat, so I don't know how long he's going to stick around for a little bit. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope to see you again here at the zoo in person real soon. Take care, folks.